Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Today, as always, I have a general reading for you, and as always with a general reading, only take what resonates and leave the rest. It is a timeless message and can be past, present or future depending on where you're at on your healing journey. Spirit will always guide you to a message that you need to hear exactly when you need to hear it. For the ease of channeling, I am going to use the pronouns he, she, but by all means, if they don't fit for you, please swap them out for ones that do. Okay, so I've been hearing Ellie Goulding Burn, specifically the lyric, and we're going to let it burn, 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 over and over on repeat, okay? And when I asked Spirit, like, what was the message that they were trying to get through, it was, we are no longer out here putting out fires and rebuilding bridges that we didn't burn, okay? So if people are out here burning bridges with you, you're not being the scapegoat anymore. You're not being the glue that keeps it all together. You're not saving people from their karma. You're just letting those bridges burn. Whatever is meant to fall away, you're just letting it fall away. You're not trying to save anything. You're just allowing things to leave, whether it be people, places, situations. You're no longer being the scapegoat. You're no longer be sacrificing yourself to keep the peace. Okay, that is the message I got. So we're going to take a look and see what else is coming out with regards to this energy and what Spirit wants us to know about this message today, what they want to bring through. Yeah, Angel of Strength. You're finally standing up for yourself. You're finally allowing your voice to be heard. You're finally, like, you're not keeping quiet to pacify others, you're not and if you're speaking up about something, okay, let's say someone's treating you in a specific way, and you don't like it, and maybe in the past that you've tried to speak up about it and you've been shut down. Maybe people have said, like, if you like speak out, that they basically use your anger against you, or the fact that you're speaking out, you've been shamed into thinking that it's a bad thing. In actual fact, you're just standing up for yourself, and you're no longer being quieted. You're no longer being silenced. You're like speaking up and speaking out about things that you've been through, whether it be in the present or in the past with people and situations, but you're doing it from a place of, it's not from a place of guilting and shaming anyone or laying the blame at everyone else's feet. You're just telling your truth. You're just telling your story. You've been silent long enough, and Spirit are saying it is now time to stand up, speak up, and whatever falls away because of you speaking up is meant to fall away. Let those bridges burn. It's time to clear it out. Okay, but I feel like there's this strength, there's something building up within you. This may be with regards to a particular situation that maybe you haven't spoken out about yet, but I can feel this fire, and it's not rage in the ego, the shadow rage. It's, you're kind of stepping into your shadow, but from a healed point of view. So it's now like spiritual rage. It's more about, it's kind of like that balance between, see, rage has such a negative connotation. Like, you've been guilt and shamed, like, oh, if you're speaking out and you're having, like, for your emotions, you've been guilted, like, you've been seen as weak for having emotions and being emotional about things. And maybe you've heard things like, oh, you're blowing this out of proportion, or oh, they didn't mean it. No, you're not having any, you've shut yourself down because of that. You're not doing that anymore. Your voice deserves to be heard, and Spirit are backing you all the way. Okay, this is spiritual strength coming in here. This is coming from a place of self-love. It's not about guilting or shaming anyone or holding on to the past. It's about releasing everything you've been holding inside. It's releasing the past. Okay? And if you speaking out burns bridges, then so be it. Okay? It's about picking your battles and knowing that if you're speaking out about something, is this person trying to shut you down? In the past, so what I'm hearing is in the past, you would speak out and you've been shut down purely because these people, in you speaking out, you were revealing truths. And they wanted to brush things under the carpet. It wasn't that you were too much. It wasn't that they couldn't handle your anger. It's because you were revealing, you were showing them the mirror. You were showing them where things weren't right, but they're not going to have a choice now. They're going to have to face it, and they're either going to have to face it and step up and rebuild that bridge with you on a firm foundation. Because if bridges are burning, if you're losing people left, right and centre, or they're losing you, whichever way you want to look at it, that bridge wasn't built on a firm foundation, so it has to crumble in order for things to be rebuilt on a firm foundation. And how these people respond to you speaking your truth, and it also means that you have to listen to other people's truths as well, because it goes both ways. But I feel that you're healed enough that you understand that it's speaking and listening. It's listening and listening to understand and respond, rather than like defend yourself and your truth. Okay, if you have to defend your truth, then there's something within you that where you have doubts that it is your truth, if that makes sense. But I feel like you've spoken your truth in the past with regards to situations, and people have got defensive with you, and instead of listening to you and hearing you out and accepting that it's your truth and it's your experience, and that just because they're not having that experience with a person or a place or a situation, that doesn't mean that you're not. Those people in the past haven't listened to you. They've just shut it down, or it's because they've witnessed things and they just don't want to deal with it. So you've basically shut yourself down to keep everybody else's peace, to keep the peace for everybody else, but it's created a discord within you. I was going to say disease within you, dis-ease within you, and you're not doing it anymore. You are not sacrificing yourself for the sake of keeping the peace for everybody else. There may be a situation as well where I'm gonna use the example that's being given to me, where a group or people come up against you and they bullied you, and you've kept silent and stayed silent. You haven't defended yourself, because there's something to do with a smear campaign. You stayed silent because you knew your truth, and you didn't feel like there was no point in defending yourself because against these people, because they weren't going to hear you out. Okay, you've just been sat back watching everything unfold, paying attention to who's listening to gossip and rumours about you and believing them, who's coming to you to find out the truth, and you've kind of just let those bridges burn. The example I'm being shown is a specific person or group, and it could be both. It could be a person that turned a group against you, and you just took a step back. They burnt a bridge with you. They stepped over boundaries. They disrespected you. So you burnt bridges with them. Sorry, they burnt the bridge and you just let it burn because it wasn't built on a firm foundation. I've just lost my train of thought. So where are we going with that, Spirit? Oh, right. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. So basically you stayed quiet. And you haven't called these people out directly, but there's something that you've done recently that has exposed them. You haven't spoken out in a way, you've done it gracefully. There's something to do with about your strength and the way you've gone about handling this situation. You've done it with grace, integrity, and you've exposed them. I don't feel like you've named and shamed in a way, but it's very clear who you're talking about. But you've basically told your side of the story, but you've done it in a graceful way. You haven't slandered them. You haven't given false testimony. You haven't guilted them. You haven't done it in a way of guilting and shaming. You've just spoken out. You're finally telling your truth, your story, and it's exposed these people. And it's what it's doing is there were people that have been listening to the gossip and that about you and the slander, and I wouldn't necessarily say these people believed what they were being told. I feel like they were on the fence because something wasn't lining up. They could feel something wasn't lining up for them with what they were being told, and that they weren't necessarily being told the complete truth. But you speaking out has given somebody or a group of people some clarity around the situation and realizing that there's more going on than meets the eye. And there's something to do with you walking away from this group and them understanding why you've walked away. Yes, you've separated yourself from this group or this situation, and somebody's realizing the sacrifice that you made in walking away, just how quiet you've been. It's something to do with your silence. There was something to do with you choosing silence because this group were trying to point you out to be something that you weren't. This group wanted you to defend yourself. They wanted you to react. They wanted to show people that you were aggressive and volatile. So they would have used your anger against you. So you stayed silent. You waited. You have been biding your time, and you've finally spoken out. And I don't know if you've spoken out directly to somebody or if this is something you've put on social media. But somebody has seen something and is realizing they don't have the full story, and they knew something was off, and you're confirming their intuition that that what they were being told didn't line up. Yes, storm warning. Somebody knew. This feels as well that whoever this is, this person has been realizing that it's a long time coming, that there was maybe they've warned people. Maybe they're realizing you warned someone. It feels to me like somebody was warned and they didn't heed the warning. Confirmation, throat chakra. Someone spoke about something. Somebody warned someone. On the back of the deck, what was hidden, we have throat chakra, fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra, Archangel Gabriel, which governs communication, truth, and we have temple path, which is giving me the energy of enlightenment, some sort of truth, seeing something. Somebody could see something. Somebody's been watching something behind the scenes. Somebody's been watching this group. Okay, there's a situation here, and whilst this group have been like targeting you, somebody's been in the background watching this group, and I feel like they gave them a warning. There was a warning, and they didn't listen to it. It may be that somebody's realizing that you gave this group a warning, or that you were warning everybody. We have financial constraints. This is about one door closing and another one opening, and in this cupboard, this side of the cupboard, it's like barren, it's bare, and when this door closes, this door will open and there's all the abundance. So this is really interesting, because this is not where I thought this reading was going. On the bottom of the deck, we have appreciation. Yes. Angel of balance. Somebody is realizing why you walked away from a person or a group. Why you have disconnected from a group. And because you didn't burn the bridge, you're not rebuilding it. They're realizing that this person or this group wasn't telling the whole truth, and that they're the ones who actually... Can you see? I know it's not a bridge, but there's some sort of monument, and it's all sort of like breaking down. So there's a person who's been in the background, and I feel like this is a person that is very easily, I wouldn't say forgotten, but it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. They can like slide into the background. They're very good at watching and paying attention to what's going on around them. Okay, they're not necessarily speaking out, but they can see what's going on around them. And whatever this person or this group was telling them about you and this situation, they're sitting back and going, no, this isn't lining up. But because you weren't speaking out, they didn't have all the information, so they feel like they've been patiently waiting as well. They've been waiting for your side of the story to confirm their intuition, to give them a better picture of what's going on. This person, it feels like this person knows that somebody was trying to interfere with your peace and your abundance. They may know of a plan to attack you. Either a planned attack in the past, or an attack that's coming. Okay, so take that as it resonates. If it's creating fear within you, that message is not for you. Okay, there is an attack, or there was an attack, depending on whether this is past or present for you, or future. Either way, it didn't pan out. Okay, so, and if it's coming in the future, it's not going to. They're not going to have access to you. Okay, these people have been completely cut off from your energy. You've been hidden. You've been hidden. There's something about someone attacking you whilst you were down. Maybe you had some sort of health condition, and these people came up against you knowing that you... See, there's a difference. If you're attacking someone and you don't know, it's still not right. Absolutely not. Because we don't attack someone because you never know what someone's going through. Okay, it's just not the right thing to do. That's my personal opinion. But there's something about this person or this group of people knowing that you were going through something and continuing to attack you, and whoever this is in the background knew that it was wrong, and I feel like they warned them to stop. There's something here. This person's realizing that that someone in this group, that you walked away because of a lack of loyalty, not from a place of punishment. Okay, you're not punishing the person or group, you walking away because of a lack of loyalty. Okay, this group, this person or this group that came up against you and were attacking you didn't appreciate you, and whoever this is in the background is aware of that. There's also something here about not acknowledging your status, not acknowledging your title. Okay, so this could be something to do with, if it's you, this could be something to do with not acknowledging your intuition, that you're a high priestess. It could be to do with something like your title, if you like, a doctor, nurse, something to do with your career. But it could also be, for some of you, I'm picking up relationship, and it's something to do with not acknowledging that you are part of a family, trying to isolate you. It's something to do with isolating you. And something to do, I am feeling this is very specific for some of you, but this person or this group refused to acknowledge you as part of the family, refused to acknowledge you as somebody's husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, take it how it resonates. This person warned them about doing this because they were aware that this person or this group were looking at what they were losing. They were going to lose something. Let's take this. If this is your job or career, it's something to do with pushing you out. Okay, making you feel isolated. If on an individual level, they didn't want you to be successful, more successful than them, so they refused to acknowledge your title within your career. Okay, or you may have had a promotion. Okay, if this is with regard to a relationship, they didn't want to acknowledge your relationship, either with they didn't want to acknowledge your relationship. They didn't want to acknowledge you as part of the family, or they didn't want to acknowledge your partner as being part of the family. Okay, and somebody warned them and told them if they continued to attack and they continued to do what they were going to do, they were going to lose something. They were going to lose, because this person recognized that they were just pushing this person out. Let's say collectively, the collective, those of you who are watching and resonating with this, I'm going to say that you were the one that was attacked. Okay, your partner, if you're in a relationship, may have been indirectly attacked as well. But let's go down the relationship route at the moment, because I think the career side of it is very straightforward. But there's something to do, very strongly picking up that a person or a group were attacking you. They refused to see you as somebody's husband or wife, partner, girlfriend, the mother of someone's child, or something like that. Okay, somebody came in and warned them that if they can, so it may be that your partner, this may be your partner's family, or this may be your family, take it as it resonates. But I'm going to go with the fact that with this is your partner's family, and it feels to me that they refuse to acknowledge you as their husband or wife, their partner, the mother of their nieces and nephews, or something like that. And this person, whoever has been in the background, warned them that if they continued to carry on, that they were going to push your partner away. And if your partner walked, you walked, okay? You may even have warned them yourself. If they continued to attack you, then you and your partner were going to walk away. There was a warning about somebody was going to walk away. Somebody didn't take the warning seriously, and now they're in victim mentality because you stood on it, you followed through, and there's a sense of them being speechless. It's caused you walking away. You stood your ground. You've stood your ground. You walked away. Whatever situation this is for you, you've walked away, and people didn't expect you to. They expected you to give in, but there's something about them realizing now that you're not giving in. You're not backing down, and there's somebody in the background. Now, this could be you, who tried to warn them that if they continue to push, that you or your partner was going to walk away, they were going to lose, and they didn't want to listen to you because it was you. Okay, they didn't take you seriously, so they didn't want to listen to you. You were nothing to them. Or it could be that there's another person who's aware of this group, aware of you, but on the outside looking in, and said, I can see what's happening, I can see what's going on here, because it may be something that this person has watched this group do before, and in the past they've been successful. They've successfully pushed people away. It may be that they've successfully pushed your partner away. They've successfully managed to silence your partner and keep them under control, like they've controlled it. But there's someone in the background who is sitting there going, this has been a long time coming. I've been warning, I've been seeing this coming. And it's like this person or this group didn't take this person seriously because they didn't expect you or your partner to follow through. And now everybody is realizing just how strong you are, just how firm in your beliefs and in your boundaries that you are, and just how underappreciated you were by them. And it's bringing in a tower for these people. They're now realizing just what they've lost, and that they haven't only lost, that basically they were looking at the lack. There's something to do with they didn't care about you walking. They just didn't want your person walking, or they just didn't believe that you would follow through. They just didn't see you as being strong enough to stand your ground. There's some people within this group that are like pissed off with you because you stood your ground, but inspired by you at the same time. And then this person in the background, I can see someone in the distance behind these people just sitting there like, oh, I fucking warned you. Like, and they're like smirking like, this has been a long time coming, this is what they needed. It's somebody who knows this group very, very well and has witnessed but said nothing. It's not that they've not said nothing. It's this, they spoke up and were silenced. Oh, that's not going to happen. Don't be so silly. They're never going to do that. And you've done it. You've finally done it. And it's because everyone has a limit, and people get to a point where they go, do you know what? Enough is enough. And you just cut off all emotions. You realise that you don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe them your peace. You're not responsible for keeping the peace. And you just go, do you know what? F it. And what I'm seeing here is like something burning in the background. And as you walk away, you're walking away with your back to this. Whatever this is burning in the background, and you're just letting it burn. It's just been a long time coming, and enough is enough. And there's something about this person in the background respecting your strength. You're finding the strength to do what's right for you. You found the strength. The strength is always there. You've just unlocked it, and that is what this group didn't want you to find. This group did not want you to find your inner strength, your ability to not give a fuck, to let bridges burn, to not care what anyone thinks about you, your freedom from the mind games, your freedom from their control. They didn't want you to realize that if you walked away, they didn't want you to realize that you held the cards all the time. The whole time you knew, but there's something that you knew, you just didn't want to use it. You knew at any given moment you walked away, everything was going to crumble for this group. Everything, because you're walking karma. You walk away, things were going to crumble because you were the glue keeping everything together. They knew that. They just didn't want you to know that. And it took a little time, but you finally realised you don't need to be the glue. You do not need to keep everyone together. So you've walked, and everything is now falling apart for this group. Whoever this is, be it family, friends. We have Queen of Cups. You've realised that they're just emotional manipulators, that they use your emotions against you. And when they can no longer do that, they've got nothing they can hold over you. When they can't control your mind, when they can't control your emotions, when they can't control your money and your finances, and they can't control your connection to spirit, they can't control you. They don't know what to do. There's a sense of panicking, of like, they don't know what to do now. This is not how it was meant to go down. They wanted to isolate you, but it wasn't because they wanted you to be on your own. They wanted you to kind of like chase them for validation, because then that gave them a sense of control over you. You didn't chase them for validation. There's something about them, I'm hearing something like, oh, you can't sit with us, and you going, bitch, please, I don't want to. And walking away. That's what I'm hearing. Like, they were trying to isolate you because they didn't want you to feel good enough. They wanted you to chase them. They wanted you to seek their validation and approval. They wanted you to feel like you weren't good enough for them, when actually they didn't feel good enough for you. And instead of just like looking at that and reflecting on that, they attacked, they bullied. It's like this energy of treat them mean, keep them keen. That doesn't work with you. That doesn't work with you. That's playground bullshit. Okay, that's mean girl energy. But it's because they didn't feel good enough. They needed to feel, they attacked you, not because you weren't good enough, but because you were better than them, and they knew you were better than them. And not in a, oh, I'm better than you. Not that type of energy, but because you didn't try, you were just a good person, you were just nice, and they could have been that person, but instead of doing the work to genuinely be a nice person for no other reason than that's just who you are, they decided to attack because it made them feel insecure. It made them feel like they weren't good enough. The wheel. Yeah, the tables are turning. All the chaos and the drama that they tried to bring to your table, to your life, is coming back around. What goes around comes around, Justin Timberlake. What goes around comes around. Or what goes around comes back around. But it's coming tenfold. With the wheel here, the 10, it's coming back tenfold. Everything they tried to destroy in your life, they tried to destroy your peace. So they're going to have to face obstacles and challenges. And it's not to punish them in a sense. It is, but it's not. Karma isn't meant to be a punishment. It's meant to show us what we don't want, how we don't want to be. They're lessons if you choose to learn them, but these people aren't necessarily going to see it that way. They're going to have a choice to face their karma and take accountability and accept responsibility, or they're just going to continue to face obstacles and challenges until they do. This is an opportunity for them to grow and expand and ascend, and they have a choice. They have a choice. They can do it the hard way or they can go the easy way, but they will have to face some sort of karma for coming up against you, for trying to hurt you, for trying to destroy your peace, because the karmic scales have to be balanced. And we have a 10-10 here as well. That's power. For me, that's power. And a storm is very, very powerful. So they may be going through obstacles and challenges, storms coming their way. Storms come into, there's two ways you can look at the storm. The storm comes in and it takes from you. Okay, so they may be viewing you as a storm. You came in and you disrupted their lives. You disrupted what they had going on. So they may be blaming you. There may be those that are blaming you. But the other side of the storm is that it's coming in to clear out what is no longer working, to crumble everything that wasn't built on a firm foundation, to expose where things aren't working so that they can be rebuilt. And that was at the time an option for these people. Yeah, you are kind of like the storm. You come in and you disrupt the status quo, okay? But not for the reason they thought. And I feel like they're finally waking up to this, that you came in, you weren't exposing them to guilt and shame them. You were exposing them because it wasn't built on a firm foundation, and you were trying to help them. That may be your purpose in life, is to come in and expose things that are no longer working, things that people need to let go, release behaviors, things like that. You see the patterns, and to help people rebuild, like basically to help people face their shadow and rebuild on a firmer foundation so that they can access their abundance. This group didn't see it this way because they were looking at you through their shadow. They were looking at you, they saw you as a storm that had come in to disrupt their lives, and they saw you as something negative. Now the tables are turning and you're doing really, really well. Your abundance is coming in, it's flowing in. These people are now realizing, because they didn't take you seriously, they're now realizing that actually you didn't come in to disrupt their lives in the way that they perceived. There's something here to do with tearing a family apart. Now, family can be work, it can be friends, and it can be literal family. Okay, it could be soul family. And I've just noticed on the bottom of the deck we have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so we have 10, 10, 10. So that could be a sign this reading is for you if you're seeing lots of 10s. There's something to do with October as well, okay? Something to do with October. The tables may have started to turn in October, or something's coming in October. All right, that take what resonates there. But they're now starting to see that because you're abundant, because you've managed to turn things around for yourself, sorry, I just had my phone buzzing in my pocket, so that's confirmation. Because you've managed to turn things around for yourself, and your partner, if you have one, they're now realizing that that's what you were trying to do for them. And there's something about some sort of warning that you gave, or something that you said, or something that they were told. I feel like they were given multiple warnings by multiple people, not just you. I do feel like you did warn them, maybe subtly, something that you put out, and they laughed at it and they dismissed it. And now they're realizing there's something that you said or did, and it's coming true for this group, okay? That their peace has been disrupted. It's just something that there's something to do with them facing karma, that karma would come for them. And they've laughed it off because I'm hearing, well, it hasn't reached us before. I've done shitloads, you know, and it's not coming. Yeah, but it's all coming back at you. It's all been building up for the right moment, and now it's all going to come back on you tenfold. Everything, whether this isn't even just to do with you. This is to do with karma for everything they've ever done. It's all coming back tenfold. Let's take a look at this financial constraints. This is giving me victim energy. They tried to victimize you. Yeah. On the bottom of the deck, we have strength again. And we have 3 of Swords. Somebody is utterly heartbroken over your abundance. It feels to me like they literally thought that you would crumble without them, that you wouldn't be able to be successful without them, that you wouldn't survive alone, that you wouldn't thrive on your own, and you are. This could be something to do with somebody. This could be with business as well, because with this Taurus energy, Queen of Pentacles, she's like a businesswoman. This is to do with home and stability, and money and finances. This could be to do with something. Someone's losing a business. Maybe they tried to take your business from you. They tried to steal your abundance, because abundance doesn't have to be money, okay? It doesn't have to be money. Somebody could have tried to lose you a job, okay? Someone could have tried to get you fired. And this is the Queen of Pentacles, but it doesn't have to be a female, although I am very much picking up on that feminine energy. I do feel like this is very much a feminine that was attacked, but it doesn't have to be, okay? It's the energy, not the gender that matters, okay? But what I'm feeling here is there's something to do with a business or somebody's money. Somebody tried to gain control over someone's money and finances, and I'm hearing backfired. Somebody tried to take... There's something to do with taking something physical from you so that you would lose your shit, so that they could expose you for being some sort of like gold digger or something like that. someone tried to expose you for being a gold digger. So, and they tried to do that by taking something. This could be something, literally your money, your business, something like that. But they took something physical, or they tried to take something physical. I feel like they successfully took something. But it might not be that they actually took it. It may be something that you were supposed to receive and didn't. Okay? Because they put a stop to it. Because what they wanted was for you to start kicking off. They wanted to show you as being like a gold digger. You're all about the money and finances. But it backfired on them. You didn't kick off because you don't attach to things that are outside of you that are physical. Your abundance comes from within, and you know that if something doesn't make its way to you, then it's not meant for you, or now's not the right time, and it will come in another way. Okay, so if something doesn't come in one way, that it will come in another way, or it will, something better will come. Okay, but this is something to do with business. Maybe somebody tried to ruin your reputation with regards to business, but this is also what this is also giving me back. It is pulling me back to that relationship and somebody not recognizing you as somebody's wife, because this is the wife card. A queen is a wife. Well, that's my interpretation of it anyway. She can be, doesn't always have to be. But in this instance, I'm definitely picking up on wife energy, or somebody's partner. Okay, there was a lack of recognition with regards to you being somebody's partner, and I think a lot of that had to do with you maybe being older than your partner, or you being older than this person or this group, because it was to do with hierarchy. If there's this sense of, if you're the older one, you become in charge. So there's something to do here. That somebody had mother wounds. Somebody thought that if you were accepted into this group, that you would become the leader of the group, and that everybody would look up to you and listen to you instead of them. It was a competition. It was about status and hierarchy, and you don't buy into that either. You have no interest in that. But you are a natural born leader, okay? And you lead from your heart. Look at all this green energy. You lead from your heart. There's also something here about somebody refusing to acknowledge you as somebody's partner, somebody's wife, somebody's husband, regardless of gender, of the card, and them not wanting to acknowledge that, because then they had to acknowledge there was some sort of, how can I put this? Whoever this person was in a relationship, and it's something to do with you being a better wife or mother, because this could be mother as well, than their partner. And then they, if they acknowledged you as somebody else's wife or mother, that they would have to acknowledge where their wife or mother was lacking or something like that. Okay, that's very specific for somebody. Okay, it's like they, oh, okay, what it is. Okay, so I'm seeing brothers. Okay, and this competition between one brother, because the other brother just isn't interested in the competition. But there's a brother that, so let's say this is that you're somebody's wife. Okay, there's two brothers here. One of them was in a relationship with somebody, be that married or just with somebody else. And then there's this other brother, and you are the partner of this other brother, and neither of you are in competition, but this couple were in competition with you. Okay, what they didn't want was your relationship to be better than theirs. Your relationship created, the way you work together as a team created insecurities and conflict for this couple. It You indirectly came between this couple because, and this couple over here, if they acknowledged you, both of them, if they acknowledged you as this brother's wife and a mother and a good person, then it kind of highlighted where this other feminine was lacking in those areas. This brother needed to have the better wife. He had to have the best. It was about status, hierarchy, and they need to be the most successful. And you can't marry her because, or you can't be with her. I'm refusing to acknowledge her because then I have to acknowledge that you have the better wife. And he was forced to look at, and that is really bizarre to me. So that's really specific for someone, okay? There was a competition that this couple were in with you and your person, if you're in a relationship, or you. I'm really leaning towards this being a family situation rather than work, but take it as it resonates. Like, there's something about you, like, you're good at everything, but you're humble with it. You don't brag about it. You don't have to show off to anyone. But this couple feels very show-offy, and it comes across fake. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you're so over the top about, oh, your relationship, oh, we're so in love, and oh, we're doing amazing, and we're just like, it's very egotistical. There's something about them, it's for show. Their relationship, everything about them is for show. They're not authentic, whereas you and your person was, and people could feel and see the difference. You and your person were more natural and loving and very just, it was just flowed a lot easier. You can feel the difference when someone's authentic. It's like you being around and you being in this relationship was highlighting the flaws and the inauthenticity within this couple and their relationship, and they didn't want that because they needed to be perceived as the most successful. They needed to be the top of the pyramid. They needed to be the hierarchy, and by you coming in, there's something to do with you being older, that they had this belief system that because you're older you then go to the top of the food chain, and they couldn't have that. So they tried to, there's something about them not being able to stop something, potentially a marriage or a relationship, from happening and continuing. So instead they tried to gain control over you so that they could remain above you. Okay, but it didn't work. You can't be controlled. You see through the control and the manipulation. You're a bit of a rebel, and when someone tries to control and manipulate you, you're going to rebel against it. And they didn't factor that in, because in the past it's worked. So yeah, and whatever they've thrown at you, we have divine feminine here. This is definitely someone who tried to attack a divine feminine, I'm telling you. Yes, and again, this confirms everything. The Empress, she's all of the queens in one. She's the wife, the mother, she's the nurturer, she's the protector, because divine feminine can be the protector as well. Okay, she protects on the spiritual. Divine masculine protects on the physical. She's intuitive. She's got the it factor. Okay, she's beautiful, but she's humble about it. She doesn't need to be show-offy about it. She's in tune. She knows who she is. She's in tune with her cycles. She's comfortable in her own skin. And that made this person and this group uncomfortable in their own skin, specifically this couple. Okay. There's something to do with baking or cooking as well. Like, I'm literally sitting here, someone going like, oh my God, is there anything else she can't do? Is there anything she can't do? She's a teacher. She can teach. She's got spiritual gifts. She can cook. She can clean. She can do this. She can do that. She can do everything. She's calm. She's pleasant. She's a nice person. Is there, and they hated that about you. Literally everything. Because it highlighted where they were lacking. What was lacking within them. So instead, they tried to dim your light. They tried to get you under control. They tried to, but you're stable, you're secure within yourself. Your stability doesn't come with, this is what these people don't understand. Because of who they are, they're very attached to physical things, okay? Which is why their karma is going to come in the form of physical things being taken away from them. Money, finances, career, people, places, situations, okay? It's all going to become away from them, and they're going to lose their shit. They're going to, like, everything's going to crumble for them, and they're not going to know what to do. Whereas you, and because you're not attached to the physical, you're not attached to anyone. If those things in the physical start to crumble, you allow it because you know it's no longer meant for you, or it wasn't built on a firm foundation, and it's an opportunity to rebuild it. That's what they didn't understand about you, that your abundance, that your security, your stability, it all comes from within. Because can you see how she's holding on to this coin? But she's not holding on to it tightly. It could go at any minute, but her eyes are closed, and she's still, like, although it could fall from her hand or someone could come along and swipe it from her, she's got her eyes closed because she knows within that it will come in another form, or it wasn't meant for her and something better will come along. She's not attached. They underestimated that about you. They didn't understand who you were. They did not do their research. And if they had, I feel like they're kicking themselves now, because I feel like this realization is coming in for them. And I just heard, well, if I'd known that about her, or had known that about them, then I wouldn't have attacked them. They're starting to see. But this to me feels like very much like, because I heard the word use, I'd have used that to my advantage. If I'd known that about them, I'd have used that to my advantage. So they would have used you instead. So instead of attacking you, they would have used you, but not for pure intention. So either way, it wasn't good. Success, choices, yeah. You make choices that lead to your success, okay? You make mindful choices because you know your abundance comes from within. Judgment and the 8 of Wands. These people are facing judgment. Sorry, I'm just going to take a drink. My throat's a bit dry. You're not in communication with these people. You're not in communication with these people. But your choices are mindful. They come from intuition and inspired action instead of ego. So you work from spirit to physical. They work from physical to spirit. Okay? They're very attached to the 3D. You've transitioned out of that. All right? They're also realizing that if they had made different choices, that they could be more successful, that they would have been more successful. There's something here about trying you in different ways, coming at you in different ways, coming at you at different angles to attack your success. Okay? They're thinking about it. They're thinking about, they are thinking about attacking you some more. Which just shows me that they haven't actually fully learnt their lesson. I don't think they're going to be successful. I really don't. This could be to do... This is to do something to do with you being successful. They are facing judgment. This isn't going to happen. This is not going to be allowed. There is something to do with your success. And them either... Oh, okay, they're thinking about whether to attack your success or try and grab onto your coattails and be successful via you. It feels to me like that is that past or present energy, Spirit? Yeah. They're thinking about their actions in the past and if they'd made different choices, how different things would be now. 8 of Wands. I feel like they want to communicate with you. You may get a message. They may have tried to message you. Oh, okay. They're wondering if it's too late. They took too long. They took too long. Someone's realising they took too long. They took too long. They took too long. Oh, okay. They thought that by now you would have come crawling back and that they would have you right where they wanted you. Okay? So they left it. They didn't reach out. Now they're realising you're not coming back and they're the ones that are wondering if they should have reached out sooner, purely because they've seen how successful you're being. And had they reached out sooner, then they may not be cut off from whatever this is for you. Okay, let's clarify this 8 of Wands because I feel like there's a message coming in or some sort of something. So let's clarify this 8 of Wands. Hierophant, yeah. Okay, what I've got from that is a very sarcastic, okay, I've learnt my lesson now, can we, you know, let's brush this under the carpet now. A very sarcastic, very cocky, yeah, I've learnt my lesson, you've made your point, let's move on from somebody, okay? Because they miss you, but what they're trying to do is mask how they truly feel, and they're trying to save face, basically, okay? But they want to collaborate with you, but they are trying to do it in a sneaky way, and this could be what they're wondering about, whether or not they're wondering how to come at you. They're wondering how to approach you. They're wondering how to get back in. because attacking you didn't work. I said it somewhere that they, maybe back at the beginning, they didn't want to isolate you. They wanted you to chase, they wanted you to be begging for their validation. That hasn't worked. So now they're reconsidering, okay, well, I attacked. I didn't get what I wanted by attacking. So how can I get what I want? How can I go about this differently to get what I want? They're wondering if they come back in all like not asking for forgiveness, because I don't necessarily, they're not going to admit that. Even if they feel that they've done anything wrong, they're not going to admit it, okay? But it's of something to do with them coming back in a way that they kind of like don't offer an apology and don't ask for one, but it's implied that basically they're forgiving you for your silence, for walking away. We've learned our lesson. That's okay. Come on, you've punished us enough now. Like, they're like belittling and taking the piss, hoping that that will get you back in to the fold, so that they can get control over you. They're still trying to get control over you. So that, but what they want is access to your blessings, access to your abundance, to your success, your celebrations. They want to be part of it, so they can say, because there's something about them needing to kind of hold it over your head, or basically there's this energy of they don't want people to see that you're successful without them. They need to be the ones that make everyone else successful. And there's an element of them trying to come back in to gain that hierarchy, that position over you. But can you see on this Hierophant card? Hierophant to me is like lessons, okay? But he's laughing. And he's at the bottom of the stairs, and he's not at the top, so he hasn't reached enlightenment. He hasn't learnt his lesson, which is effectively the Hierophant in reverse, okay? But I don't do reversals. I just read the energy, unless Spirit tell me to put it in reverse. But I'm getting the energy of the Hierophant in reverse. They haven't learnt their lessons. Whoever this is has not learnt their lessons. They're just cocksure of themselves. And quite frankly, I'm just like, really? They're giving me the ick, okay? They're giving me the ick. But they want to collaborate with you. But they only want to collaborate with you. There's this, I think what I'm picking up on is this, where they tried to isolate you, they thought that you would come running, that you would need their validation, and you haven't. So they're like, there's part of them that thinks that you're staying silent so that they chase you to make you feel validated. They're still not quite grasping the concept of you do not need outside validation. And this trick is not going to work on you. Okay? I'm going to get some more for the Eight of Wands. It's something to do with like flattering your ego or something like that. You know, when you pay someone like love bombing. Love bombing. This person is going to try and come in and love bomb you by flattering your ego and making it like trying to offer you validation. But you neither want it nor need it, okay? Whatever they do, however they come at you, it is not going to work. I do feel like somebody's already tried to reach out to you, or if they haven't, they will do shortly. They're going to find themselves blocked. As the Ace of Wands comes out here, they're going to find themselves blocked. Yeah, this person's laughing because they think they're delusional, but they think they have found the key to getting back in with you. They think a lot of this is going down because they didn't include you, and that by including you, then everything will be good, and they can, gain control by love bombing you. They're going to try the love bomb route. When someone like love bombs you, makes you feel like safe and secure, and then like rips the rug out from underneath you. Yeah, that's not going to work. You've come across multiple people and situations like that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. We have the nine of cups, 5 of cups. Yeah, this person thinks that they found a way back in with you, to love bomb you, flatter your ego, tell you everything you want to hear, so that they can gain access to your 9 of cups, so that they can gain access, yeah, to your happiness. And we have two of wands, plotting and planning. They have a plan to like love bomb you. They're going to try and reach out to you, but they're going to find themselves blocked, I'm afraid. Whether it be spiritually or literally, this person is blocked. They're not going to be allowed access to you. Spirit is not going to allow them access to you. I do feel like this person's blocked on a physical level too. If they're not blocked, I feel like, so what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing two situations, or two scenarios. One is that this person's going to try and reach out to you, and they're going to, actually I'm seeing 3 scenarios. One, they're going to try and write you a message or something like that, or try and reach out to you, trying to communicate with you, and they're going to find that their throat chakra is affected and they're not going to know what to say to you. That is feeling very much to me like spirit are blocking that. Another situation is that they are successful in, I'm seeing typing or writing, and that they're successful in getting that message out and what they want to say, and they're so proud of themselves for doing it, and then they go to hit the send button, but it bounces back because they've been blocked. And the third scenario I'm seeing is somebody reaching out to you with a message on the surface that looks nice, for want of a better way of putting it. There's it on the surface, there's no harm in it. It's a nice message, okay? But the underlying message is either an attack, or it's like love bombing to try and get in, but it's trying to like play on your heartstrings. But by doing this, it's gonna cause a domino effect, and you're going to then block them, because it's going to destroy, not going to destroy your peace, but the energy of the message, what is being said, and the energy behind it isn't in alignment. So it's going to create that anxiety. It's going to create some, like, not, I don't want to say fear, because that's not the word I'm looking for, but when something is out of alignment, for me personally, I find like I get anxious because words, actions, and energy is not in alignment. When something is in alignment and someone is being truthful about what they're saying, whether it's good or bad, as long as it's in alignment, I'm at peace, and I can feel the truth and that they're telling the truth. Okay, this message is going to come through, and it's going to cause anger. It's like an audacity. Like the message is the energy I'm getting of the receiver is the audacity. How dare they? Right? And then because of that, they're going to find themselves blocked, and this whole group could be getting blocked. Okay? That's the 3 scenarios I'm seeing. Let's get some Ma. Somebody might be called Ma or be referred to as Ma. I was also going to say Mars, and it could be something to do with Mars. Mars is like fiery energy. Let's get some clarification and some next steps. What else does Spirit want us to know about this situation, and how do we move forward? Just use your discernment when this message comes in, okay? This could be within the next 8 hours, 8 days, 8 weeks, okay? But I don't feel it's within the next 8. I don't think you'll be waiting 8 months. Someone's going to reach out, and it feels quite soon, okay? This energy feels like it's coming in quickly. Kinship, community, your group. Yeah, somebody is going to try and reach out in a way that it comes across as they're just trying to be nice, that they're trying to be like celebrate you or something like that. But use your discernment. On the bottom of the deck, we have self-acceptance, compassion, forgiveness. I feel it's a way to play on your emotions and make you feel guilty. We have attachment, longing, desperation. Yeah, and that is over storm warning. We have attachment, longing, and desperation. These people are desperate. Your silence is I was about to say causing uproar. It's causing conflict, it's causing chaos, it's causing arguments. They wanted you to chase them for validation. Now what they're doing is they're going to chase you for validation, but they're going to make out. They're not going to let that be known. They're trying to save face, so they're going to make it out that they're giving you the validation that you need by chasing you. Does that make sense? They're going to flip it. So instead of them admitting that they're chasing you for validation because they're feeling insecure, your silence and lack of connection, lack of anything, they're not getting anything from you. It's throwing them off. They don't know what to do. So now what it's doing is the tables are turning. They wanted you to seek validation from them, what they actually need. But the whole time it's been they needed the validation from you, but they didn't want you to know that. So they had to put it on you. They scapegoated you. What they're trying to do is still scapegoat you. But what they're going to do is they're going to come to you and give you that validation in I'm celebrating your success, because they want validation for their successes. They want acknowledgement. They want recognition for their achievements. So they assume that you do too. So they think that by doing that, you'll be like, oh, that's so nice of you. Oh, that's all I wanted, is for you to validate me, to recognize my achievements. But actually, you don't need their validation, because if you needed their validation, you would have reached out to them and told them what you'd achieved. But you're not doing that. But they don't want it to come across that way. They want it to come across as that you're still needing their validation, but they're not going to get the response they want. They're going to end up blocked. Yeah, power, truth, connection. Mental clarity. The truth is that they are attached to you and your energy. They are longing and desperate to hear from you, but you're not coming back quick enough. So they're now going to start reaching out, because I hope I'm making sense. It's that there may be something specific that you've achieved, okay, and that you haven't told this person or this group about specifically. They may know of it, but you haven't told them. And there's this sense of them saying, well, I'm going to reach, even though I haven't spoken to him, I'm going to be the bigger person here, and I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to say, well done for achieving whatever this is, because they think that that's what's going to get you to reach back out, for you to respond, to bring you back in, because they seek outside validation. They need recognition and reward for everything they do. They need validation. They need to be seen. They expect that you do too, and you don't. So all it's going to do is get this person and this group blocked. They're caught up in their own web of lies, their own... The plan that they tried to set you up. They tried to set a plan in motion to set you up, and instead they've got caught up in their own trap. They tried to trap you. They've got caught in their own trap. It's like they want your validation. Why are you not giving it to them? Why are you not seeking their validation? What's that all about? Who even are you? Up from the depths, releasing difficulty. Yeah, they tried to put you, and they thought they were successful too. They thought that they'd successfully placed you in difficulty, that they'd successfully isolated you, so that you would go crawling back, begging them for their attention, for begging them to let you in, and you haven't. And they're like, who even are you? Because they still need this validation. They don't understand it. On the bottom of the deck, we have prosperity, abundance, and success. And we have letting go of urgency, surrender, freedom from time constraints. You've freed yourself from control, from manipulation. You see through people's games. You freed yourself from needing validation, because there probably was a time in your past that you did. But you've healed and you've moved out of that. And you're coming out of difficulty into your abundance and success. And then under that we have Archangel Haniel, joy, blessings, intuition. And then we have phase entanglement, emotional influence. These people tried to, like, they were gossiping about you behind your back, saying that you needed validation and all this lot. Somebody was, and they tried to play on that, and actually that is not the case. And they don't understand why everything they're doing isn't working. Why have you not come back? Why are you not chasing them? Why are you not begging to be part of their group? Because you don't want to be friends with bullies. You don't want to be associated with bullies. You want loving connections, that if there's an issue, you're willing to sit down and talk about it like freaking grown-ups and work through it together. Even if that means that you have to face that you're the problem and that you need to work on something, you need to take accountability, you need to take ownership for something that you've done. You're willing to do that with people that are not going to throw it back in your face and punish you and judge you, and are going to understand that it wasn't personal and that you were just reacting from your shadow, and there's still something within you that needs to heal. That doesn't excuse your behaviour and actions, but if you're willing to work on them, people can understand it a little bit better and work with you on that. But this group aren't willing to take accountability. They're still trying to scapegoat you. They're still trying to find a way to put it all on you so that they can save face, because they've got this situation. They've got you so wrong. And if they admit that, they have to admit that this situation didn't have to happen, and they could have chosen something different. There was a different outcome. Okay, I'm going to close this reading out. My throat is really, really dry. I just feel like this is a sign that these people are not going to get the communication from you that they want. They're not going to get anything from you that they want. They're not willing to tell the truth. They're not willing to see the truth. They're not willing to admit the truth. They're not standing in their truth and in their integrity. And they're not coming from a place of truth and integrity when they come through. It's just not aligning. I'm sorry, it's just not. Use your discernment though. Feel into your own discernment. Trust what comes through for you. But I personally, I wouldn't trust this message that comes in. Okay. Okay, we're going to close this reading out. We're going to pull some affirmations before we go. Affirmations are positive statements about how you want to be, how you want your life to be, and used on a regular basis, they can really help to maintain a positive mindset. Okay, so let's have some affirmations, please, Spirit. I am fabulous. Yes, you are, and they know it. They know it. That's why they came after you. I am patient on the bottom of the deck. You really are patient, especially if you are a Taurus or you've got earth energy. That's something they underestimated about you, is your patience, your willingness. You're so patient. And you've patiently been waiting for the tables to turn and for people to see the truth about this person or this group. The thing is, there is someone, like I said at the beginning, there is somebody who has seen the truth, but just hasn't like had all the information, so hasn't acted on it. They could also be coming forward with you to gain that information from you, or they may now have enough information that they can act. They may even have information that they want to share with you about this person, this group, or this situation. Okay, we have I am present, which has come out over this storm, and what I'm feeling is you, regardless of what has gone on around you and what these people have thrown at you, you've remained grounded. You've stayed in the present moment. You haven't got caught up in the lies and the drama. You've stayed free from it. You've freed yourself from it. Excuse me. This group is in utter fear. My stomach is bubbling, and I just had a little burp. And that to me is fear is bubbling up out of these people. It's only a matter of time. I feel like these people are going to crack. Somebody's going to crack. You know when you see... There's a series on Prime at the moment called Still. And I don't really want to spoil it for anyone if you haven't seen it. But if you have seen it, you'll know what I'm on about. And it happens in other dramas like that as well. But the situation where there's this plan to steal, and something goes wrong, or it doesn't quite go to plan, and then there's usually one or two in there that kind of can't cope with the pressure, and they start to lose it, because they're worried they're going to get found out or something like that, which is kind of what happens in this Still. That's what I'm feeling with this energy, is that somebody is panicking that they're going to get found out and they're going to crack. The cracks is going to start showing, okay? They've been trying to hold it together, but the cracks are going to start showing. We have I am giving. You are a gift from the divine. And the divine are gifting you as well. Like you've been through so much, and you've stayed firm, you've stayed grounded in your beliefs, you've trusted and had faith in the divine. The divine is now rewarding you because of that, and that's what these people are starting to see, is that you're being rewarded, that things are going well for you, and they're starting to panic. Okay, on the bottom of the deck we have I am lucky. Yeah, you've got that. um like no matter what you do, you fall on your feet, everything works out for you kind of energy. People think you're lucky. They're not realizing that you have had to put a lot of time and energy into getting this far. um but these people want you to give to them. They're also realizing that there is more to you than meets the eye, and they should have held out a little bit longer. They shouldn't have attacked you, and had they known what they know now, they wouldn't have attacked you. They would have gone about things differently. But when your intentions aren't pure, it doesn't matter how you come at someone, the outcome's going to be the same regardless. Okay. um yeah, the spirit is saying, with regards to moving forward, just continue to stay present and detach from the chaos. If you feel like there's chaos going on around you but you feel really calm within, it's a good sign that things are starting to unfold and crumble for this person, this group, and that you are safe and protected from that. Okay. They're going to try and pull you back into their drama, into their mess. Stay present, stay true to who you are, use your discernment. I'm not going to tell you what to do if these people come like message you in that, but I am going to advise you that you need to use your discernment. I personally don't trust them. I feel like there's love bombing energy here. It's going to be like, oh yeah, we need you, we want you back, because they do want you back, they do need you, but they're going to make it, they're going to like do it in a mock, Mickey take, piss take kind of way, where they're kind of making fun of you. Although they're serious, they do want you back, they do need you. They're going to do it in like a Mickey take kind of way, and kind of put it onto you that it's you that needs them, even though they definitely need you. Okay. Whether or not you help them, whether or not you want to go back in, that's entirely up to you. I just don't feel that. I feel like you've come so far on your healing journey that there's nothing left here for you. You've learned all your lessons. This group, you were sent into this group, this situation, to help them. They didn't want your help. They've taken it too far to kind of go back. I just don't feel. I feel like you've already disconnected, like you're emotionally, you're cut off from them, which is a really dangerous place to be for these people on the receiving end, because once you're cut off emotionally, that's it, game over. And it doesn't mean that you're cold-hearted, it doesn't mean that you're a horrible person, it just means that you've had enough and you're standing up for yourself and saying, no, I'm not going to tolerate this behaviour towards me. I didn't do anything to deserve it, and you're just gonna let these people go with love. There's something within them that they think that they can still salvage this situation, but I feel like you and people around them are like, no, you've done too much. You've gone too far. You've done too much now. It's gone on too long. But they think they can still salvage it. But they're going to be, they've got a shock come in, because I just keep hearing spirit say no. They had access to your energy. They took it for granted. Now we're removing that energy. We've removed your energy. They've continued to take you for granted. They've continued to attack. They didn't heed the warnings. Enough is enough. There has to be a line. A line has to be drawn. And that line is here now. There's a sense of just not being interested in what this group has to say. You've got nothing to say to them. And that doesn't mean that you won't hear what they've got to say, but you've got nothing to say to them because they're not coming from a place of truth and integrity. Okay, I'm going to leave it here. I really hope that this helped. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Namaste.